I'm Rachel Balducci. Welcome to my show. I'm a wife, I'm a mom of 6, and I'm the author of Make My Life Simple, Bringing Peace to Heart and Home. I'm always thinking of ways that faith and real life intersect. God is always offering us inspirations and wanting us to be closer to Him, and I think He uses the world around us and the people around us to do that. I hope you enjoy the show. All right, I'm talking today with Kristen Riley, who is just an amazing woman. I'm so excited that you're willing to chat with me on my show. Thanks for being with me.
Of course.
So you just had your 7th baby. Yeah. And one of the things that I love about you and getting to know you in real life, not just through social media, which is also lovely, is that you're really honest about, you're trying to find a balance in all the different areas of your life. You're a full-time working woman. You have 7 babies, kids, and you also have this amazing, really inspiring social media presence. So how do you do all these things?
One Hail Mary at a time.
Amen.
Really? I mean, it is very much like moment to moment. But for me, work, it energizes me and it makes me a better mom. So that is really why I choose to work, but I still feel like when I'm with my kids, I'm very present with my kids. But so, it's very much like one Hail Mary at a time, and you just take it day by day. We don't do so well when we're looking like 3 months out or something like that, because I just know the probability that something will change is likely to happen.
Is it possible for women to do it all?
I don't think so. I think that it's possible to do one thing really well, but I think it's difficult to do them all incredibly well. And one thing that I really try to talk about on One Hail Mary at a time is I try to be transparent about areas where I need help and asking for help, and not feeling like I'm a terrible mother or a terrible employee if I don't ask for the help. I think that is a huge saving grace. So I kind of always joke and I say, outsource everything except sex with your husband.
That's smart.
And just that, I heard somebody say that one time on a panel, like a leadership panel, and it really resonated with me because we outsource a lot, and obviously the priorities are spending time with our children and then also our relationships. So we try to make those the priority. So anything we can outsource, we try.
So what's, like a quick tip of the trade, what's the best outsourcing that you've done that has been a game changer for you?
I think Instacart, like outsourcing grocery shopping. I do want to say though that when I had the 2 oldest when they were little, we used to go at 8 a.m. every Saturday morning, and that's when we would do our grocery shopping. So that was our thing. But Amazon is also a big one. Amazon and Instacart, anytime I can outsource any type of shopping.
One of the things I love is that you are, you own the full-time working and it energizes you, but you also have this big family. And sometimes I almost think it's like the duality is working moms can have kids, but it's almost like there's a cutoff point to when it doesn't make sense anymore.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on that?
The one reason that my husband and I, it works well is that he runs his own company, so he has a lot of flexibility. So he's the one that's kind of like the stable force if I have to travel or if I'm working on something for work that requires a lot of hours. But then I also am on the sales side for what I do, so I can set my schedule a lot too. I have some of that freedom, and I think that is how we are able to do that. And we do say that we have the flexibility and the freedom in our jobs to kind of at least make certain things more of a priority.
Yeah, and so that's kind of how you make it all work. And then you said you don't look too far down the calendar, which is funny because I would almost assume that somebody who's doing what you're doing and juggling so many things would have to be mega organized, type A, knowing exactly all the things.
I think people are frustrated that are like that have to deal with me because I'm not organized and I'm not a good planner. I'm very much like in the moment and just worrying about what's in front of me right then and there.
One of the things that it has taken me a while to learn, but I'm learning it and I'm embracing it, is to do what works best for you. And you seem to really be very comfortable with that concept in a good way.
It's true. I know. Yeah. No, I think that's true. Like, one thing I definitely tell women that are working is that when you're done with your job, just leave. Walk out. It's okay, and be confident in that. Like when talking about a maternity leave, you are allotted the 12 weeks and you can take the 12 weeks. Some of that might be unpaid, But it's kind of finding that inner confidence where I know that this is okay and I'm comfortable with this decision, and just kind of being like, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's like, it's reminding me of the Catherine of Siena, like, be who you were meant to be and you will set the world on fire. And I love it because you're like setting the world on fire. You're doing all these great things, you know, openness to life, and then having a job, but also not afraid to say, this is what my idea of perfection looks like.
Right.
Is, you know, outsourcing a lot of things.
Right. Like if you came into my home, you might be appalled because it's a disaster.
And like we're all allowed to like do our thing that way, you know?
I know.
Okay, one thing I want to talk about too is your commitment to family prayer, which you have talked a lot about, like brings a lot of grace, and I think is probably the heart of your ability to do these things. How do you make that work?
A lot of flexibility, a lot of patience. It's definitely not perfect. I mean, we've got kids that are wrestling and 3 strikes, you're out. I mean, it's not necessarily like this peaceful experience. And I used to get really upset with my kids, but I've learned now that my husband and I, we just focus on ourselves. We focus on like saying the prayers respectfully, and I might have a kid like climbing over my shoulder, but I am still saying it. It is the one thing that has kind of been the stable force in our family. And I think it's for a lot of reasons. I think, one, we worry less. We don't have to predict the future. We can just be there in that moment, in that day. And also, it's not always like we're all together. Sometimes it's a conference call on the way home from work, or if one's traveling, it's FaceTiming. But we really do try to make it a priority.
I think that's so beautiful. We kind of come and go with it, and we started back up a few weeks ago, and I felt like the devil was just after us for a couple days, though. Like and that reminded me of how powerful the Rosary is, because he does not like it. I think when people say
you're right.
You know? So what advice would you give to women who really love their job or feel like they need to work, you know, that's something their family needs from them, who want to have more children but are afraid they don't have the money or the time, that they won't be able to, you know, care for their family the way they would want to?
I think this is so hard, but it's so true. You just kind of have to have faith. I think one thing that professional women have always told me is that a lot of them have said, if you want to have a child, have a child. You never regret having a child. And, you know, work will never love you back. And so I think you really kind of just have to pray and have faith that it will all work out.
Yeah, and it seems like it is.
So far, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, thanks for all you do.
Thanks,
and
Rachel.
for being so inspiring and putting Jesus first, because it really
you.
inspires a lot of people. So thanks for chatting with me.
Thanks.